I've got a serious question for you. If the Hamas terrorists in Gaza were to start building Auschwitz-style ovens to burn Jews like the Nazis did, would the world still demand that Israel stop defending itself and attacking them? Of course. See, the official goals of Hamas already are the same as the Nazis: to kill every Jew. The Hamas charter says so 12 times. And yet the world demands Israel's army stands down. Hamas's financial and political benefactors, their bosses really, are the Ayatollahs of Iran. They're building a nuclear bomb explicitly to attack Israel. And yet the world not only permits this, it repeatedly warns Israel not to preemptively attack Iran. Earlier this month, Hamas's leaders confirmed yet again that every Jew in Israel, man or woman, adult or child, is a target for their terrorism. Here, listen to Hamas's official prayers just on Friday.
عقيدتنا في قتالكم أننا سنبيدكم على بكرة أبيكم ولن نبقي منكم أحدا لأنكم ظلام الأرض وشذاذ الآفاق ومرتزقة الزمان بل مرتزقة كل زمان راجعوا التاريخ أيها الإخوة.
Hamas aren't soldiers as an army. They're terrorists. They're murderers. They're like the Nazis, but without the official army part, really, without the running a country part. They just want the Holocaust part. The Hamas chant "from the river to the sea" is shorthand for eliminating every single Jew from all of Israel, as in from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, not just from the disputed West Bank, but from everywhere in Israel. Just as Hamas does not distinguish between civilians and soldiers, it does not distinguish between different proposed peace maps. They just want all the Jews dead. You can hear that chant even in English, even in Canada, at any anti-Israel pro-Hamas rally you look at. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's the new Nazi chant. That's the new kill all the Jews chant. And you can hear it in English in Canada, and yet the world demands that Israel stop defending itself. Destroying the sole Jewish state is a different goal from creating a Palestinian state, which would be the 23rd Arab country in the world. Now, in 2005, Israel gave Palestinians at least part of a state, the Gaza Strip. Israel forcibly removed every Jew who lived there and handed Gaza over to the Palestinians. Israel even gifted 3,000 greenhouses that were owned by the Jews who used to live in Gaza. They gave them to the Palestinians as a ready-made industry. Now, it's unlikely that Gaza could have become an Arab Hong Kong or something, although stranger things have happened, as the Arab city of Dubai shows. But instead of setting to work building Gaza as a prosperous or even a peaceful mini-state, the Palestinians chose Sharia law and a terrorist government that has fired thousands of rockets at Israel from amongst Gaza's houses and schools. And those 3,000 greenhouses, yeah, like the Jews themselves, gifts from the Jews had to be destroyed, and they were. So back to my first question. If Hamas started building a little Auschwitz, a little concentration camp with Jew-burning ovens in Gaza, would the world stand by and, worse, tell Israel to stop defending itself? The concentration camp ovens question, it's not hyperbole. I mean, Hamas has fired thousands of rockets at Israeli civilians. Some are unsophisticated mortars, but others are genuine military weapons imported from Iran. Now, it's miraculous that so few of these missiles have actually killed Jews. Israel has deployed an anti-missile defense system called Iron Dome that has shot down 90% of the rockets that were on course to hit populated areas. This too has earned the world's condemnation. How dare Jews not die, at least proportionately with their Hamas enemies? Just listen to the media party go on about the civilian death count being disproportionate.
There really is a sense that the Palestinians are bearing such a disproportionate amount of the casualties here.
The Palestinian death toll has surpassed 1,000. Israel has lost 40 soldiers and 2 civilians in the fighting.
51 people, mostly soldiers, the Palestinians report. More than 1,000 of their people have been killed, mostly civilians.
Again, mostly civilian. 32 Israeli soldiers and 3 civilians have also been killed,
raising the death toll in Gaza to more than 1,000.
But is that a ratio that's defensible?
A disproportionate death toll in that conflict.
230 Palestinian deaths, 1 Israeli.
using disproportionate force.
The ratio between the number of Palestinians killed and the number of Israelis killed is 23 to 1. 695 Palestinians, 35, not 30, Evan, Israelis. But only 3 of the Israelis were in fact civilians, and only 2 of them were Israelis. One was a Thai worker.
Come on, you Jews, why don't you go to the slaughter like you're supposed to? Why don't you die like you're supposed to? Look, let's be honest, world opinion really doesn't give a damn when Arabs die. I hate to say it, they don't. I mean, this past week has been one of the deadliest weeks in the whole Syrian civil war. More than 700 Arabs killed in a week, but they were killed by other Arabs. That's about 150,000 Arabs killed in the Syrian civil war so far. Can you remember any big street protests? Thousands of people all across the world chanting for Syria to be free in our streets in Canada and streets across the West? Of course not. Not even fellow Arabs seem to give a damn when Arabs are killed, unless it's a Jew who killed them, even if it was in self-defense. But look, there's no Iron Dome system that can protect Israel, that can defeat underground